Schneider got screwed in this. I just don't see how Schneider can get blamed for that, because he was only there for 2 months. You just don't fire a guy. You coach him, even though they... What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Bonehead Truckers. I've got a rant. You guys know how I like to rant. Before we get into that rant, though, a couple of things. The Texas Trucking Show is the last weekend of June of 2024 here down in Houston, Texas. I will be there and possibly have a special guest with me. So if you're going to be down there in Houston that weekend, you're going to be at that show, look for me. I'm about 6'4", 300 blah blah pounds, and I'll be there looking pretty, okay? I'll be there not signing autographs, I don't do that, but I'll shake hands and all that kind of stuff, okay? Look forward to meeting some of you guys out there, or all of you, whoever wants to go up and come up to me. I'm very friendly, I really am. And one more thing, YouTube has changed some things around, so that's the reason why I've been posting some old videos, and I will continue to post some old videos. Basically, so when you see a demonetized video and you go and have it reviewed, they give you a timestamp of, okay, this is what makes it demonetized. And I go and I edit that, but I can't edit that on YouTube. I have to edit that on my computer and then re-upload it. That's the reason why you're seeing that. So to the new viewers out there, these are older videos, so enjoy them. Guys that's been here for a long time, you've seen those videos, re-enjoy them if you want to. I mean, they're older videos, and I get it, but basically, we're making those to where they're drawing revenue. So Schneider is forced to pay a family $47 million. $47 million for an accident over in Georgia in 2017. So unfortunately, the family that sued Schneider lost their loved one who was a truck driver. And so, listen, I get it, get your money. Hate to hear one of us, you know, but it was, here's my dilemma that I have with everything. And you Schneider drivers need to pay attention to what happens in the future. So it wasn't the Schneider truck that struck the driver, it was a four-wheeler. Now that was a separate lawsuit, I believe, by looking at FreightWaves, that was a separate lawsuit, and they settled out of court. So what happened, the reason why Schneider's getting blamed for it is because Schneider supposedly, the driver, let me just say Schneider, the Schneider driver, swerved into another lane or cut across multiple lanes and made the four-wheeler driver strike the driver that was in the comedian right there, and that's what you know, that's what made the driver go deceased. And my thing is that yes, the Schneider driver did wrong, even though we don't have, at least I haven't seen any proof or anything that says there's dash cam footage of this. How do you go and use a judge go and say, hey, Schneider, you did this, and not only did you do this, but you're required to pay $47 million. So looking at this driver, his last name is Joheim. So I have to say, I had to look it up how to pronounce this driver. Now this driver had 2 months experience, and claimed that Schneider didn't train him well, okay? First of all, he lied when he said that he wasn't in that situation, right? He said he was parked somewhere else during that time of that accident. So he lied because they went to go and find the Schneider's record and found Joheim right there, okay? So Joheim lied about that, which, by the way, Joheim had all these critical events and everything, had a couple of accidents, and popped for methamphetamines. And this was a little bit before and a little bit after. It's just all these things happened, and he ended up getting canned from Schneider because of all the things. He was a horrible driver, and he was a liar, and he put all this on Schneider, saying he was basically poorly trained is the reason why that he did what he did. So he lied first. But when he was caught, you know, they were like, you know, oh, it was Schneider's fault. Even though he was sitting there on his phone, like during his whole break, sitting there making phone calls, and he was up for like 22 hours. That's not Schneider's fault, okay? That's that driver's fault. And it was, oh, Ike, you're taking up for a mega carrier. All right, I'll give you this. One of the things I don't like about Schneider, I used to work at Schneider. My time at Schneider is well documented on YouTube. Schneider knows who I am. They know who I am. I liked working there during my time there. Besides one thing I didn't like about Schneider. There's one thing, is that I didn't agree with them how they train their rookies. Their rookie training is just, doesn't make sense to me. There's no OTR experience. There's no, say if you're in the Dallas area. You're not going into the Rocky Mountains. You're not going into Chicago. You're not going into all these other places, okay, that, you know, is not Dallas, Dallas is an easy town to drive in, especially if you're from there, which most of the drivers that train in Dallas are from that area and they know it well. You got to get someone out of their comfort zone. I've been vocal about I don't agree with their training standards. Go along as Prime, go along with Werner, where they go and it's like, hey, you're going out there OTR. You know, you just are. And they just don't do that. Unless they've changed some things since, you know, when I drove there, and it's been a long time since I've driven for them. But, so I don't agree with that part. But $47 million. And guess who's going to get the hit for that? Obviously Schneider or their insurance, however that's going to be paid. But guess what's going to happen? Schneider's going to go and double down on all their safety issues. And let's just face it, even though I do not like their training for rookie drivers, they're probably the most strictest company out there when it comes to safety, okay? And they make rules because of things that's happened before. Now, when I worked there, their criteria for accidents and crashes were, in a 3-year period, you have 3 tickets and 2 accidents. That's their criteria. If you go over that, you're gone. And I'm just saying that that's probably going to go down. Probably. I don't know, but that's probably going to go down because $47 million, if they're going to do this without an appeal, that's going to mean something, and they're going to double down. Schneider has always been strict on footwear. Listen, you guys know how I feel about flip-flops, but not only does Schneider not like flip-flops, but they don't like tennis shoes or anything. You got to have like Schneider approved freaking work boots, which, hey, I agree with that. But I'm gonna just say, it's rules like that, sitting there saying, listen, don't be talking on the cell phone even with the headset while you're driving down the road. They're so strict that they won't allow you to make phone calls while going down the road or receive them, even if you don't even touch your phone at all. And they have rules against that. And I have my complaints against that rule. I've stated that, I don't need to state it again. But this is going to have some changes. I believe that's going to affect a lot of drivers coming up. Now, the big wigs up there, the decision makers up there in Green Bay, whatever they do, I don't know. But I guarantee you it'll probably affect you. And then if you don't think that all these other companies aren't paying attention to how this affected Schneider, $47 million, do you think those companies I mentioned like Werner and Prime and CR England, Western Express, and even the smaller companies that can't afford $47 million, do you think they're paying attention? They are paying attention, and guess what? It's going to get a lot more strict for drivers out there. It just really is. So here's the deal. Drivers, get plenty of rest. Drivers, be honest with your company, because if you're going to lie and put something on your company, it's going to come back against you. I think it's unfair for Schneider. I believe it is. Schneider got screwed in this. I just don't see how Schneider can get blamed for that, because he was only there for 2 months. You just don't fire a guy. You coach him, even though they said he wasn't coached. I just don't understand this lawsuit whatsoever. It boggles my mind why Schneider has to pay $47 million. I could understand $10 million. I can understand $5 million, but I don't understand $47 million. That's something that I think Schneider was probably covered their bases on. And it was the driver that lied. Now, obviously, they can't get $47 million after one person that can't hold a job all right, that's a drug abuser and all this. They can't get that much, so you gotta go over after the mega carrier. They're seeing dollar signs. We get it. That's what ambulance chasers do. But man, this is going to change a lot of things. I hope not. I hope drivers at Schneider, that nothing affects you guys, because at the end of the day, Schneider drivers are pretty safe, especially the older drivers. And Schneider has a good, has a way of keeping older drivers, and newer drivers not so much that I could tell. But the the older drivers, when I worked there, there was a lot of drivers that were there for 20 or 30 years. There was just a lot of freaking drivers that, they're that long. So anyway, let me know what your thoughts is. I'm leaving the Freight Waves link in the description if you want to read that article. I'll leave it in the comments. It makes it easier. Read that article, come back and let me know what you think. This is a fact that I learned on the internet a long time ago. Parrots do not eat tigers. As a matter of fact, it's the other way around. That's the reason why I like Blue Tiger, because blue tigers are cool. They're cooler than the orange ones. Blue Tiger not only does headsets, but they do dash cams. So if you want a dash cam like from Blue Tiger and save 10% off, and you're supporting Bonehead Truckers YouTube channel, go check out these dash cams. Link is in the description below with the discount code. Go check that out. Save 10% off on these brand new Blue Tiger dash cams.